Have you ever been in a situation where a woman gives you mixed signals? One moment she's laughing at your jokes, responding instantly, dropping hints of affection, and the next, she pulls back, becomes distant, or acts like she's not that into you. It leaves you confused, questioning her intentions, and wondering what the truth really is. But here's the reality most men don't see. Sometimes a woman is already emotionally attached. She just doesn't know how to admit it. Not because she doesn't care, but because showing she's all in makes her feel vulnerable. It means risking rejection, losing control, or appearing too needy in a world where many women are taught to play it cool. So instead of showing you how much she feels, she hides behind fear, uncertainty, and defensive behavior. If you don't know how to read the signs, you might miss the truth and walk away thinking she never cared. But if you do, you gain the upper hand. Here are 5 key signs she's already attached, even if she's scared to show it. When a woman is emotionally attached to you but too scared to show it, her actions often speak louder than her words. One of the clearest signs is when she remembers the small things about you, details you may have mentioned only once in passing. It could be your favorite coffee order, a story about your childhood, or something subtle like how you prefer silence after a long day. These little things seem insignificant on the surface, but they reveal something powerful. She's paying attention. Women don't invest that kind of mental and emotional energy into someone they don't care about. When she holds on to those small details, it means she's thinking about you, even when you're not around. But because she's afraid of coming across as too interested, she'll play it off casually. She'll bring something up with a smile and pretend it's no big deal. Or she'll say, "Oh, I just happened to remember," as if it were by accident. But make no mistake, her attention is intentional. This behavior comes from a place of emotional conflict. She wants you to know that she sees you, understands you, and values you. But at the same time, she's guarded. Maybe she's been hurt before. Maybe she's afraid of losing her power, or maybe she doesn't trust how deep her own feelings have grown. So she walks that fine line, showing interest without admitting it fully. If you're sharp, you'll recognize that these moments are not random. They're signs of emotional connection. She's building a mental map of who you are because, deep down, she already sees you as someone who matters. And no matter how much she tries to hide it, the way she remembers the little things always tells the truth. When a woman feels attached but is afraid to show it, one of the most telling signs is her emotional inconsistency. You might notice moments when she's warm, affectionate, and open, laughing at your jokes, engaging in deep conversation, or sending thoughtful texts. Then, almost out of nowhere, she becomes distant, cold, or even slightly irritated without explanation. This emotional swing isn't because she's playing games. It's often a result of inner conflict between her growing feelings and her fear of vulnerability. On the one hand, her warmth is real. When she feels safe and her guard is down, her affection flows naturally. She wants to connect. She enjoys your presence, and those moments are genuine. But on the other hand, the more she starts to care, the more her fears creep in. She worries about getting hurt, losing control, or appearing too eager. So to protect herself, she pulls back. She might act indifferent or give you mixed signals, not because she doesn't like you, but because she's trying to manage her emotions without fully exposing them. This push and pull behavior confuses many men. They start questioning what they did wrong or whether she's even interested at all. But the truth is, her inconsistency often signals a deeper emotional investment. She's not disconnected. She's overwhelmed by how connected she actually feels, and that scares her. Understanding this dynamic allows you to respond with calm instead of confusion. When you don't overreact to the cold spells and instead stay grounded and steady, she starts to feel safer. Over time, this emotional stability can encourage her to drop the mask and show how deeply she really feels. Her mixed signals aren't rejection, they're signs of attachment fighting against fear. Recognize it for what it is, and you'll read her better than she reads herself. Jealousy is one of the most revealing emotions, and when a woman feels attached to you but isn't ready to admit it, jealousy tends to slip through the cracks in subtle but noticeable ways. She may not come right out and say she's bothered by the attention you get from other women, but you'll feel it in her tone, her expressions, or the way she changes the subject. Sometimes it comes out as sarcasm, little jokes with sharp undertones, or passive-aggressive remarks about someone you talked to or posted with. These aren't just random comments, they're small windows into how much she actually cares. When a woman feels emotionally invested, the idea of someone else catching your attention or receiving your energy makes her uncomfortable. But because she's trying to stay in control, she won't admit that it bothers her. Instead, she masks it with humor or dismissiveness. You might hear her say things like, "Oh, she's cute. Your type, huh?" Or, "I'm sure you've got options, so you don't need to call me back." These phrases are often a mix of defensiveness and curiosity. She's testing the waters to see where she really stands in your life. This behavior doesn't come from malice. It comes from uncertainty. She's torn between protecting herself and wanting to claim her emotional territory. If she weren't attached, she wouldn't care. But the fact that your interactions with other women get a reaction from her is a strong sign that something deeper is going on. The key is to notice the patterns without calling them out harshly. When you remain calm and confident in those moments, it tells her you're not playing games, and that stability often invites her to lower her guard and be more honest about what she's feeling underneath the surface. When a woman is attached, but too scared to show it, she often seeks your validation indirectly. Instead of openly asking if she matters to you or if you care, she'll drop subtle hints or behave in ways that invite your approval without directly stating it. She might share stories about her day, her accomplishments, or even her struggles, watching closely for how you respond. She's looking for signs that you're interested, that you notice her, and that you value her presence in your life. This indirect validation seeking stems from fear of vulnerability. Asking outright, "Do you like me?" or "Do you care about me?" puts her in a vulnerable position, exposing her emotions to potential rejection. So instead, she tests the waters by gauging your reactions to smaller, less obvious cues. She might compliment you, but quickly follow it with self-deprecating comments, hoping you'll contradict her. Or she'll bring up a topic related to your relationship status or future plans to see how you respond without actually saying, "Where do we stand?" Men often miss these subtle signs because they expect direct communication. But in reality, many women protect their feelings by hiding them behind indirect actions. She's seeking reassurance, but doesn't want to appear needy or desperate. This dance of validation is her way of feeling out if it's safe to be more open. If you're aware of this behavior, you can respond with calm confidence and clear signals. Acknowledge her indirectly, offer genuine compliments, and show consistent interest without overwhelming her. This approach builds a safe space where she gradually feels comfortable enough to drop the act and express her true feelings more openly. Recognizing and responding to her indirect need for validation is a key step in breaking down her fear and deepening your connection. One of the most telling signs a woman is emotionally attached, but too scared to show it, is her consistent presence in your life, even when she insists she's just being casual or not that serious. She might downplay how often she reaches out, how much time she spends around you, or how important you are to her, but her actions say otherwise. Whether it's frequently texting you, showing up where you are, or being involved in your daily routine in subtle ways, she's creating space for you, and that space is a strong indicator of attachment. This kind of behavior often comes from a place of fear and self-protection. She's afraid to admit how much she cares, because doing so would make her vulnerable. Maybe past experiences taught her to guard her heart or keep her feelings under wraps to avoid disappointment. So instead of openly declaring her attachment, she quietly stays close, maintaining connection without risking too much. This soft attachment is her way of holding on without fully exposing herself. Men might mistake this for casual interest, or friendliness and move on, missing the deeper emotional thread. But the truth is, consistent presence is one of the strongest unspoken declarations of care. If she wanted to distance herself, she would. If she wasn't invested, she wouldn't make the effort to be part of your life day after day. Recognizing this sign means you have the chance to step into leadership and provide the emotional safety she needs. When you respond with steadiness and don't pressure her to define the relationship prematurely, she feels more comfortable showing her true feelings over time. That quiet consistency of hers is an invitation. It's her way of saying she's already there, even if her words haven't caught up yet. Attraction is easy to spot, but real emotional attachment hides in the spaces between her words, in the con.